being here today so we could talk about the Lansing Beautification Awards. So tell me, how does the whole process work from, nominations to, voting and then picking a winner?
Well, first of all, we changed it a little bit this year. It used to be that the awards were presented on the 4th of July, but I noticed last year as judges were going around to see all the different homes that had entered and been nominated, that the flowers hadn't fully bloomed. So we decided this year we're going to back it up a little bit, start a little bit later, and have the actual awards become awarded when the flowers are more at their peak. So it starts with the nomination process, and we advertise in local newspapers and with posters in the various businesses in town. Also on the village website we post the nominations. So we collect the nominations and then have the judges go out, check each home, and we have a kind of a system, a rating system, and we rate from 1 to 10. And then the top winners are our winners.
Okay. So how long have the Beautification Awards been around, and do you get a lot of feedback from people? Is it positive?
It's been an amazing experience for myself and for the helpers with this award, in that the feedback from the residents was just overwhelming. I was just shocked at how many people were involved, and there seemed to be quite a bit of, I would say, good vibes and positive feelings throughout the community because of it.
And I know that this is it's not in conjunction with, but there's a little something else going on in Lansing right now. It's similar. We have the facade program where people are trying to improve the facades and all that. Does this kind of tie into that, or is it more like, is this similar in its, I guess you would say, it's spiritual type of feeling?
I think that it is, and I think it's intended by the village and everyone involved that we need to keep the area beautiful for the value of homes, for just the overall positive image of the community, and that's really important. And as I said before, it was a shock to see how many people are really involved in trying to keep the town so beautiful, with facades for the businesses and with their homes and landscaping for the residents.
So, Donna, a lot of the houses, well, we have the Beautification Awards and we have all these, we can only have one winner, but we had a few different nominees. What did you see of all the different nominees? What are some of the specific stuff you saw that stood out to you?
Well, first of all, I'm not saying I'm correcting you, but we didn't have one specific winner. We had 6 of the top winners.
Okay.
And we felt that kept it a little bit more equal and fair, because to the different variety of flowers there are, whether people were perennial flower people or they were annual, and the size of the lot all had something to do, with it. And it was really difficult even to pick the top 6 because, as I said before, I was amazed at how many beautiful gardens there are.
What did they have in their gardens?
Well, more specifically, I can say that there was a nominee on Chicago Avenue, and they had all kinds of extra little intricate statues and little areas that were specific to maybe hearts or specific to little children. And that was very unique and very pretty, and the flowers were kind of coordinated with each area. And then other homes had like a perennial garden, and maybe had quite a few bird sanctuaries and different little wildflowers. So that was another area of really expertise that I was really impressed with. And of course this included front yards and backyards. Backyards were usually mind-boggling, even though it's a shame that the other residents don't get to see the backyards. Also, the different varieties, we thought often about if they were perennials, how much work's involved in perennials versus annuals. And the flower gardener people would probably appreciate that we put a lot of effort into the care of the flowers. And we also included the lawn.
I guess one of my last questions would be about people getting involved. How would somebody want to nominate somebody? When do you start kind of looking at stuff, and when can people get nominations in, start getting them in, and then You know?
The nominations are open for about 6 weeks, and it's advertised. It's advertised, like I said before, in the businesses, on the website. And I think that probably true landscapers and residents who like to garden, they're planting their gardens in the beginning of the spring. And I felt this year the feedback was that people were anticipating the award program.
Yeah. What's like kind of like your cutoff date usually each year? When do people, like, for procrastinators, like when do?
As I said, this year, this is the first time that we ended it. I would say about 2 or 3 weeks before we presented the awards. I can't remember the exact date though.
And tell me a little bit about the features of the houses that are presented, the nominees, and even the winner. What are some of the stuff that kind of stood out to you?
It was very interesting, and actually I was pleased to find that the winners were from different areas of the town. And I really appreciated that there was almost an area from each different section. And it was really sweet. I know one of the winners said to me, "Oh, my house is so small, how could I have won?" And we said, "Because your flowers are beautiful. It's not just about a beautiful home, it's about beautifying the home that you have, and no matter what the size." So that's how it was just really a rewarding experience for me, actually.
Well, Donna, thank you so much for your time.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Thank you. It's nice to talk to you.
Nice to
Once
talk to
again,
you.